Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name's David and this is my channel. Today we're going to talk about the one belief, and our ultimate goal is to debunk this belief together. And this is the greatest belief that we hold that is not true. And this might sound hard to understand or hard even to believe, but the belief is simply that the past creates this moment. This is not true. Boy, can you feel, I'm sure you could probably already feel the resistance. What do you mean the past doesn't create this moment? Well, see, we've created this linear idea of past, present, future. But it's not true. The present moment is moving back to itself like this. There is no past necessarily. And everything in your past, I'm not saying it didn't happen, it just has no meaning. It has nothing in it. It's an empty vessel. Just like this moment. Everything is this empty vessel that you get to put your meaning into. I want you to kind of sit with that for a second, because that is the answer. That is the salvation for everything in our life. Because if you look back, I love this feeling. Let's say the world's coming in. And I know what this feels like. Money's not flowing in, or, maybe problems in the body, or the relationship's not working. And we're in this consistent state of getting hit by fragments of our life. We all know what it feels like. Now, these things, let's say something comes in and it's pushing against you. I talk to people all the time. I know this for myself. Business isn't working. Money's not flowing in. Body's not feeling well. It's like every single time we turn around, there's just something else that is reminding us. And what does it remind us of? It always reminds us of what we did wrong. Now, let's look at this. So if something comes in, let's just call it unwanted. Something unwanted comes in. It does two things. One, it shows you where something has come in that you don't like. Something unwanted has now happened in your life. But two, first of all, let's say that's called sin. Something is sinning against me. Now, sin has a permanency to it. Notice that if something comes into the body or something comes into your life, there's a feeling of like, I'm stuck. There's nothing I can do. It is what it is. We have sayings like, I've made my bed and now I got to lay in it. There's no second chances. If you lose the battle, you lost the battle. You see, if you get an F on your test, that's it. There's no second chance. I can't go back and change it. It is what it is. This is the idea of anxiety. You find yourself somewhere and you go, I don't want to be here. Oh, I screwed up. I took the wrong turn. I shouldn't have done this. You see, using the past to crush the now. Now, the other part is the guilt. I shouldn't have done this. Even if you lose someone or lose something in your life, there's this idea of loss. Someone passes away. And we say, that doesn't feel good. Somehow there's a feeling of, I did this, or I made a mistake, or I wish I would have done this, or I wish You see, the reason it's got to come back to you is because sin and guilt are connected. You cannot not like something in the sonship, not like something outside of you or anywhere, and not have it feel or felt back within you. So here's money not flowing in or bills piling up, and you say, oh, that feels like it's pushing against me. And then now the reason is, well, the past. I should have done this, or if I would have just gotten this job, or if I would have done this more, or you see, and now it's this ongoing battle of why are they doing this to me, and they shouldn't be doing this, and the country should be doing this, you see, and then at the same time, I should have done this, and I wish I would have done this. Does anyone feel that? And that pushes you. It's like a crushing device that crushes you in the moment. Past, or you and your past against what we call the now, so to speak, and other people and the outside, and we're stuck right in the middle. So let's say if there's something happens in the body, oh man, that shoulder, God, what happened? First thing we think of is what happened? I slept on it wrong. Or, I shouldn't have done that yesterday. Or maybe I shouldn't have eaten this food. Somehow there's got to be something. I got to find something in my past to know why it happened. You see, or we go in and we get some kind of diagnosis. Oh my God, There's this crushing feeling. Something's crushing me and I can't do anything about it. It is. Now I got to go through all of this. Now my life's going to change. Now there's a crisis moment. There's nothing I can do. So there's this feeling of crushing from the outside. And then going back inside and saying, what did I do wrong? And what could I have done differently? And these two things really put a lot of resistance into our life. Now, what I want you to see is that this is happening all the time for the majority of our lives. Consistently looking out at our problems and then going back to the past and trying to figure out why. Well, how did that happen? Why did that happen? I don't understand why that happened to me. What did I do wrong? What could have been done? What could they have done differently? You see, and there's this battle going on between me and you, me and you, me and you. And this is going to cause a lot of crushing and resistance in your energy because we're using the past to push against the moment. Or we're using outside to push against ourselves. And see, everything is a mirror. So when you push outside, when you blame anyone, any culprit, I don't care who it is, what it is, the situation, you're going to find yourself going back to the past in order to find it. Isn't that interesting? And the past doesn't exist. So we're looking somewhere that doesn't exist and focusing on it in order to stop our now. So there's this illusion that's going on. If I blame someone for why I'm where I am, then I have to blame them in the past. Does that make sense? There's always this idea of the past, the past, the past. Using the past to stop the future from flowing, or using the past to crush against our now. So if we do that and we say, okay, I wish I wouldn't have done this, and I wish I would have taken a right instead of left, and I wish I could have made that relationship work, or I wish I wouldn't have, you see, then now we get the feeling that life doesn't work. We get the feeling that we're making a lot of mistakes, and there's this dual idea of I'm making all these mistakes and life isn't working out for me, and I really feel like this isn't happening and working and flowing. And now we never get to see the present moment because the present moment is neutral. Remember we talk about this? What does neutral mean? It means it has no meaning. So that's why I say the belief structure is not true. The past does not create the now. It can, if that's what you want. But the truth is it doesn't. The now is neutral. I want you to feel it for a second. There's nothing going on. You could say, Dave, I got all these bills and I got all this and this and this. But if you let go of it, you'll realize you're eternal. You can't lose who you are no matter what you've done in this life. There is no past. There's just this moment of now. And as hard as that is to let go of, we either get stuck in this karmic cycle over and over and over again, or we wake up. And that's what waking up is, recognizing the past does not create this moment, and it never will. This moment is now. It's the only moment there will ever be, and you get to decide what this moment's going to mean for you. And when we finally wake up and recognize that, and then we recognize that the most important thing, remember, we're not bodies and we're not physical. We are non-physical and we are more of a feeling and an idea than anything else. Then we will recognize that right now, how I want to feel about myself is the only thing that matters, not what's actually coming in, my house, my relationship, all these physical things, all these things of form. Right now, how I feel about myself is truth, is reality from a non-physical perspective. And that's where source is. So I could just sit here right now, regardless of anything coming in my life, and find the moment, the true reality of who I am. Just by letting go of who I'm not, which is the past. I let go of the past for a second. I am abundant. I could have $50,000 in debt, but I am abundant. And if you search, you will find it. You will find the feeling of abundance. I don't care if you're living on the streets. You will find it because it has to be there. It's who you are. I am healthy. I am healthy. Doesn't matter if you're hanging out in the hospital. You can find it. It must be there. You see. And I get that it's difficult, but it doesn't mean that it's not true. And the more we understand that, the more we debunk this idea that the past creates this moment, therefore I have to get stuck in this cycle of problem. And we recognize, no, right now, I am as I've always been. There's nothing that has changed me. I am. And that's that I am. I sit there a lot and I recommend it. I am, because the more you recognize, who are you? I am. Nothing in my past has ever changed who I am. You could look back at your past and trust me, your inner being sees it very differently because it sees it whole and taken care of. And now wants to bring you in all those solutions, all those ideas of who you are. Because you can continue living a life based on a feeling of lack or loss or problems or mistakes and then try to control your future and stop it from coming in. Or you can sit with the truth of who you are, and from who I am abundant, I am the prosperity, I am the riches of the Father, I am the beauty and the expansion and the love and the joy. As you become that in the moment, then you will unlock what wants to come in, even in manifested form. And now your life will magically switch and start reflecting back to you effects of who you are. Healthy, flowing, strong body, powerful body, you see? No longer sickly, problematic, stuck, loss of energy. It will reflect back to you the truth of who you are, but where did it change? Right now. It didn't come from the past. It came from now. Right now, this moment, sit in it, feel it. Who are you? Sit in it. Don't worry about it. Turn off the world. It's just a projection. And sit into who you are and recognize the biggest belief and let it go. Finally, let it go. The past does not create this moment. This moment creates everything. This moment is neutral. And you get to decide everything. And as you recognize that and you take that neutrality and start looking at the moment and looking at your life, regardless of what's coming in, and seeing only as your inner being seeing only who you are, looking at no money and seeing money flowing, and looking at what you call the brokenness of the body and seeing healing and flowing and love and joy, you can transform it. By only seeing that one world and no longer seeing this other world. It doesn't exist. It really doesn't, because you can't see them both. You cannot see them both. The universe only gives to you, but it will give you the same thing over and over if that's what you want. But as you look out and see it from now, who am I now? I am, and then fill in the blanks. I am, fill in the blanks until you feel it, And then let go of that world that you think you have made. That right here, right now, has already started over. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. They might not know this, but you start looking at them as they really are, and trust me, you will transform them quicker than you think. Because it's now. That's your salvation. That's the solution. That's where your source is. That's where everything is, right here, right now. But you have to let go of what was in order to get into the now. And now, I can assure you, when you look out in the world, you're going to see it very differently. When you stop superimposing the past on it, by making a world that's not real, by not giving it a chance to be new, which is the nature of the universe, a newness, freshness. As you stop superimposing the past on it, you're going to see light and love and a magic shining back upon every single thing you look at. With the past gone, the world is magical. And when you see magical out there and that past is finally gone, it's going to flow. And yes, all those manifestations, everything you have asked for, all that you are, will come in, manifested in physical form. But first, we have to let go as much as we can of understanding this belief. The past does not create this moment. You create this moment, and you can create this moment based on the truth of your being, based on your source, based on who you really are. And then the future can flow. Whew. Take this with you, sit with it, see what speaks to you, and as always, it's up to you what you receive. Thank you very much. Keep the comments coming. I love to hear from you guys. Hit the like button if you're enjoying this, and subscribe. And as always, my unconditional love and appreciation.